For the RDL, hold it shoulder width apart. When you're up, you want to make sure your knees are slightly unlocked. Roll the bar down your quad, not out from your body. And as you go down, you want to tilt at the hips and push your hips backwards towards the wall. Go slow, you feel tension in your hamstrings, back up, push hips forward. That's it. Dave's going to do his now, do about 5. So shoulder width apart, so start the lift at the top, and work your way down. Bend at the hips, slowly, push hips backwards, feel tension. If you're not feeling tension, slightly unlock your knees. Unlock your knees now, now move at the hips, pushing those hips back towards the wall behind you. Bending at the hips, don't bend your knees anymore, so just purely bend at your hips. There you go. And keep the bar to your quads. There you go, that's better. 2 more. Last one. Cut it.
At this point I could have told Dave to bend at the hips slightly lower, however if he was feeling in hamstrings this depth is fine enough. This also comes down to the athlete and how much they're feeling in their hamstrings, but slightly more depth could be needed here.
Can't demonstrate this one because of the knee, but the idea is you want the bar to be placed on the trap muscle, so I can demonstrate this bit at least. So you bring it in, arms shoulder width apart, you should feel the groove on your trap, and that's where you want the bar to place. Elbows tightly locked in. Dave's going to demonstrate it, and I'll talk him through it as he's doing it.
You want me facing this way?
Yeah, face this way. So he's gone in, the bar's on his trap muscle, there's a nice groove there. His elbows are tight in, bringing the bar down onto your shoulders. Now as he bends down, he's going to bend with his knees, angle his knees out to stop him from caving in. Making sure the angle here is just about 90. At the top of your lift, though, breathe. And down. Breathing out as you push up, push back up. Nice. Good.
Overall, Dave's squat was very good. He controlled the squat and he got a lot of depth. One thing I would add, however, was his breathing needs working on. So that looks like he's breathing through his stomach muscles, not increasing the volume of his chest. So belly breathing, big breathing at the top of the lift. He squats down and he exhales as he's pushing back up when he needs to. I'd like to add this is something that, this is a fine technique you could say, so if your athlete is struggling with the basics of squats, this is something you would incorporate later on when they've got to the level where Dave's at currently.
So this is the hang power clean. I'll first explain it on this bar, no weights, then I'll go to the weight bar. So you go shoulder width apart from the hips. So the idea is you're coming up and you're catching it in results like that, and you catch it like that. When you come up, you want to, as you jump to bring it up, you want to shrug your shoulders, and then you want to catch it under. So that's the idea. So you're coming up, shrugging your shoulders. You don't want the bar to come away from your body. So you want to say it's like parallel to the body as possible, pretty much. And you're coming up. So I'll explain with the bar now. So it's pretty much shoulder width apart. So you're coming up, you're shrugging, and you're catching it under, like that. I can't jump, so you should be jumping on this, but because of my knee, I can't jump. Dave's going to attempt it now. Shoulder width apart. So start off like as if you come up a deadlift, so you want to come up, and that's how you're jumping and shrugging, and you're kind of under it. So when you come up, bring those elbows forward as much as you can. So you want to bring your elbows in forward.
I'm not very flexible.
Yeah, that's right. So at the moment, you're kind of coming away from your body, bring it up to your body, catch it under. Better. Better. So one more. Yeah. What I'd suggest with Dave in this instance is maybe some wrist flexibility movements, because that's what's kind of limiting him at the moment. I think that's kind of used to the technique. Not bad for the first time.
So this move was very new to Dave, he hadn't done it a lot. As stated in the video, his wrists were quite unflexible. I would start with this athlete by doing some wrist mobility exercises, trying to get those wrists a bit more flexible. Dave's main problem with this is he's not bringing the bar close enough to his body when he's trying to flick the bar up. Likewise, he's not getting under the bar enough. Personally, for me, I should have told him to hold the bar a bit wider. I was also holding it quite narrow in my demonstration. As a coach, that'd be a work on for me. Yeah, but other than that, just flicking the bar and really not jumping but shifting under the bar is a big work on. But as I said, this is a new movement to Dave, so I didn't want to load him with a whole lot of information. I was just trying to get him to get the bar close to his body and trying to flick his wrists to get under it.
Sweet, so we're doing a push press this time, very similar to a military press. We're going to have the bar, holding it as such. Same as a military press, you push, lock the elbows out. The only difference is with this, you're going to have the assistance from your legs. So slight dip, make sure your knees dip to the side, dip and shrug, push up and squeeze at the top. Real key components is make sure you got enough weight that you can't do a military press with, because you've got the assistance from your legs this time. So you should have more weight than you do with your military press. Dave's going to give us an example. Just squeeze at the top. Slight dip, shrug, push up, squeeze at the top. Good. You can bring your head forward slightly at the top, just to hold it, to get a tighter squeeze. Yeah, there you go. Bring your head forward still. Breathe as well. Nice. One more. Breathe. Good. Perfect. Nice.
This is a relatively basic lift. Dave has done well to demonstrate it. One thing from my coaching perspective is that I should have mentioned that the bar, you should be holding the bar shoulder width apart. This is an important aspect of the lift. The only criticism for Dave at this point was slightly bring his head forward, which I corrected during his lift, at the top of his lift. This just makes it easier to stabilize the weight at the top of your lift, and you get a better squeeze.
Doing a bent over row now. So I'll get straight into it. The idea is, so you stand the bar, shoulder width apart, your feet, grab the bar again, shoulder width apart. Some people hold the bar like this. I reckon it's better holding it like this. You get more tension around your back. So you bring it up, knees slightly bent. Again, similar to an RDL in the sense that you're pushing your hips back and you're bending forward. You're down, and then you're bringing the bar roughly to your belly button. At the top of the lift here, you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together, get some tension, squeeze. So the key behind this is make sure you're bent quite a lot forward through the hips. Dave will demonstrate. You can try to demonstrate. So the feet slightly facing outwards. Yeah, nice. Bend at the hips. Yeah, perfect. Right there. So you want to squeeze in here. Nice, good. Make sure you don't tilt back up, stay in the position. Yeah. Good. Sweet.
Again, Dave demonstrated this lift quite well. He had his knees slightly unlocked, and he was making sure his shoulder blades were touching at the top of the lift. One thing just to keep an eye on as a coach is make sure as the lift goes on, they don't slightly extend at the hips, so they don't slightly start leaning more upright. This is quite easily done as seen in this video, but it's important to make sure the athlete stays quite bent at the hips and he's pulling the bar to his belly button, squeezing with the shoulder blades at the top.